Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the confusing world of corporate filings and sometimes make a profit. Today we're diving into the latest report from Innovative Food Holdings Inc. And let's just say this one involves a delicious sounding asset being sold off. This filing is a current report on Form 8K, which is basically the company's way of telling us about major events that happen outside of their regular quarterly or annual reports. Think of it as a heads up for big news. Innovative Food Holdings Inc. is the company we're looking at. They're in the business of, well, food holdings, which can mean a lot of things, but what's important for this report is they have a subsidiary called Innovative Food Properties LLC. The big story here is a sale. Innovative Food Properties LLC, which is a part of Innovative Food Holdings, is selling some of its real property. Specifically, they're selling land and a warehouse located at 220 Oak Hill Road in Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. It also includes some personal property and contracts related to that location. The buyer in this deal is a company called Mountaintop Holdings LLC. So a real estate transaction is the main event. Now let's talk money. The total price for this property sale is a pretty significant number, $9,725,000. That's almost $10 million. This isn't just a handshake deal. The payment is structured in a few parts. First, there's an initial deposit. Mountaintop Holdings had to put down $200,000 within 3 days of signing the agreement. This shows they're serious about the purchase. Then there's a second deposit, an additional $300,000. This is due after Mountaintop Holdings finishes a 45-day inspection period. This inspection period is crucial. It's where the buyer gets to really poke around, check out the property, and make sure everything is as advertised to avoid any nasty surprises. It also gives them out if they find something they don't like, though. These deposits usually become non-refundable once certain conditions are met. And importantly, these deposits totaling $500,000 are generally non-refundable. This means if Mountaintop Holdings backs out for reasons not allowed by the agreement, Innovative Food Holdings gets to keep that money. That $500,000 is a nice cushion for Innovative Food Holdings. The rest of the money, a whopping $9,225,000, will be paid at the closing. That's when the ownership officially changes hands. So the company is banking on receiving nearly $10 million for this property. It's also worth noting that the filing states there's no other significant relationship between Innovative Food Holdings and Mountaintop Holdings aside from this sale. This suggests it's a straightforward business transaction, not some kind of insider deal. The report also mentions that on August 1st, the company put out a press release about this property sale. Companies do this to make sure investors and the public are aware of significant events. This press release is attached as an exhibit to this filing, so we can assume it contains more details, probably framed in a way that highlights the benefits for the company. Now, what does this sale mean for Innovative Food Holdings? Selling a property, especially a warehouse, could be a sign of several things. It might mean they're streamlining operations, exiting a particular market, or raising cash for other ventures. Without more financial details in this specific report, it's hard to say exactly why they're doing this, but the sale of actual physical assets for almost $10 million is a pretty big deal for a company. It frees up capital. Think about it like this. If you owned a large building and decided to sell it, you'd have a lot more cash in your pocket to either invest in new businesses, pay down debt, or return to shareholders. For Innovative Food Holdings, this cash infusion could be crucial for their future strategy. This filing doesn't contain the detailed financial tables you'd find in a quarterly report, like a P&L or balance sheet, so we can't directly analyze their revenue, profits, or debt from this document alone. However, the fact that they are selling a significant asset for millions suggests they are making a strategic move with their capital. For example, if the company has been struggling with profitability or needs funds for expansion, this asset sale could be a lifeline. Alternatively, if they are simply shedding non-core assets to focus on their main business, it could be a sign of a well thought out strategy. We don't have enough here to know which it is, but the amount of money is substantial for a company of this nature. This kind of a sale is what we call in the business world divesting. It means selling off a part of the business. The key question is always, are they divesting a problematic asset, or are they selling a valuable asset that could generate more income in the future if they kept it and improved it? Let's consider what might be happening behind the scenes. If Innovative Food Holdings is in a highly competitive market, perhaps they need to invest more heavily in technology or product development. Selling off real estate can be a way to free up that investment capital, or maybe the warehouse wasn't as profitable as they had hoped and they're cutting their losses. What I look for in these situations is context. Is the company growing in other areas? Are they announcing new product lines or market expansions simultaneously? Without that broader picture, this sale could be interpreted in many ways, but a nearly $10 million cash injection is undoubtedly a significant event. It suggests a strategic shift or a need for capital. The timing of the press release is interesting too. The sale agreement was signed on July 28th, but the press release announcing it came out on August 1st. This 4-day gap might be for internal approvals or perhaps to ensure all regulatory aspects were considered before making the announcement public. This filing, while not heavy on numbers, tells a clear story of a company actively managing its assets and capital. The sale of this property is a clear strategic action, and its impact will depend on what Innovative Food Holdings does with the nearly $10 million they receive. Now, looking at this filing more broadly, it indicates a company that is willing to make significant changes to its asset base. The sale of a property for $9,725,000 is a material event. It's not a small transaction. This money could be used for many things. It could be used to repay debt, which would strengthen their balance sheet. It could be used to invest in research and development, or to acquire a smaller complementary business, or it could be returned to shareholders through dividends or stock buybacks. Though this last option is less common for companies making such strategic asset sales to fund growth. The fact that they are selling a physical property suggests they might be moving towards a more asset-light business model. This can be beneficial as it often leads to higher returns on equity and a more flexible corporate structure. However, it also means they might be losing control over a physical asset that could have appreciated in value or generated rental income. What we don't know from this report is the book value of the property. If they bought it for $8 million and are selling it for $9.7 million, that's a profit of $7 million, and that's good. But if they bought it for $12 million, then even at $9 either dollars, but taking a loss which could impact their profits. This financial detail would typically come out in their quarterly or annual reports. The 45-day inspection period for Mountaintop Holdings is also a key element. This period is designed to protect the buyer and ensure they are comfortable with the condition of the property. If the inspection reveals significant issues, Mountaintop Holdings may be able to renegotiate the price or even walk away from the deal, though that would likely depend on the specific clauses in the purchase agreement. Innovative Food Holdings would have had to disclose any major known defects, but the buyer's due diligence is crucial. The structure of the payment with deposits and a final closing payment is fairly standard for real estate transactions of this size. It provides security for the seller by having funds committed upfront and in stages, and it allows the buyer time to arrange their financing and conduct their due diligence. Ultimately, the success of this asset sale hinges on how Innovative Food Holdings chooses to deploy the proceeds. If they reinvest this capital wisely into profitable ventures, this could be a very positive development for the company. If, however, they use it to simply cover operating losses or if the market for their core products is declining, then it might just be a temporary fix. Given that this is an 8K filing, it's focused on the news event, the sale itself. We'll need to pore over their next quarter's earnings report to see the impact of this nearly $10 million on their cash flow and balance sheet. Alright, when I look at this, I see a company that is actively managing its assets. Selling a warehouse and land for almost $10 million indicates a significant financial maneuver. The company is generating capital. The critical question for investors is what they will do with this capital. Will it fuel growth, pay down debt, or simply plug holes? Without more financial data from this report, it's hard to fully assess the strategic wisdom of the move, but it's a big capital event. The risk is that they might be selling a productive asset, perhaps because they need cash urgently. The opportunity lies in how effectively they reinvest these funds for future growth. For now, it's a move that signals a change in asset structure and a potential shift in strategy. What's your take on this property sale by Innovative Food Holdings? Does it signal strength or a potential weakness? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more insights into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community for deeper discussions. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.